Long ago, in a quiet village surrounded by green fields, there lived a poor farmer named Thomas. He worked from sunrise until sunset every single day, yet he could barely earn enough money to feed his family. His clothes were old and torn, his house was small, and every harvest seemed worse than the last. Still, Thomas never complained. He always shared whatever little food he had with anyone who needed it. One cold evening, as Thomas was walking home after a long day in the fields, he noticed an old man sitting beneath a large oak tree. The old man looked weak, hungry, and exhausted. Without thinking twice, Thomas offered him the last piece of bread in his bag and the little water he had left. The old man smiled warmly and asked, "You have almost nothing. Why would you give your last meal to a stranger?" Thomas replied, "Because kindness is worth more than gold. If I can help someone today, tomorrow God will help me." The old man's eyes suddenly began to glow with a mysterious blue light. A gentle wind swept across the field, and the air sparkled with tiny golden lights. "I am not an ordinary old man," he said. "I am a wizard who has traveled the world searching for a truly kind heart. Most people seek wealth, but you chose compassion." With a wave of his ancient staff, a brilliant beam of light surrounded Thomas. "I grant you 3 magical gifts. First, every seed you plant will grow into the healthiest crops anyone has ever seen. Second, you will be able to understand the language of animals. And third, whenever you help someone without expecting anything in return, your magical power will become even stronger." The wizard disappeared into the night, leaving only glowing golden dust floating through the air. The next morning, Thomas planted a handful of ordinary wheat seeds. Within minutes, tiny green plants pushed through the soil. By sunset, the entire field had become a sea of golden wheat. The villagers could not believe their eyes. Soon, Thomas became famous across the kingdom, but he never became proud. One day, while working in the fields, a small sparrow landed on his shoulder. "Farmer Thomas," the bird chirped, "a terrible drought is coming. Save water now." Thomas believed the little bird. He built large water reservoirs and warned every family in the village. Many people laughed at him, but weeks later the rivers dried up and the land became dry. Only Thomas's village had enough water to survive. Everyone realized that he had somehow known the future. Months later, a frightened deer came running into the village. "The forest is on fire," the deer cried. Thomas quickly gathered the villagers. Together they dug trenches, carried water, and saved hundreds of animals from the flames. The grateful animals promised they would always help the village. As the years passed, Thomas continued helping everyone. His magical gifts became stronger with every act of kindness. His fields fed thousands of hungry people. His animals protected the farms from danger. His village became the happiest place in the kingdom. One evening, many years later, the wizard returned. He smiled proudly. "You have used your power not for riches, but for kindness. That is why you have passed the greatest test." The wizard raised his staff one final time. A warm, golden light spread across the entire valley. From that day forward, every child born in the village grew up learning one important lesson. True magic is not found in powerful spells. True magic lives inside a kind heart. And so, the legend of the poor farmer and the wizard's gift was told for generations, reminding the world that kindness is the greatest power anyone can ever possess. The end.